Hi guys, welcome to my new channel. Welcome to Tisha's home cooking channel. This is my first video and I am so thrilled to start this video and to start this channel, which I've had to put off for a long time. But you know, I thought this is the time. The time is now to start this channel. Most of my friends who have actually enjoyed my cooking have encouraged me to, you know, start up this channel. But I've had to put it off for some time, and I think now is the time to start. So welcome aboard. Join me whilst I show you some simple tips in cooking very simple meals. I'm going to start with the Ghanaian Jollof Rice. Yes, the Ghanaian Jollof Rice. And I hope you enjoy it. So come with me, let's start cooking. Okay, so guys, here are the ingredients. So I've got all the things prepared already, ready to start. So here I have my chopped onions, and then I've got tomato puree. I've also got oil here. Then I have got some chicken stock. You can see powdered chicken stock, and I've also got chicken stock cubes. I've also got this puree here, which is blended ginger, onions and garlic. I've also got my blended tomato. So I mean, it could be fresh tomatoes or it could be chopped and plum tomatoes in the tin, which you can also blend. Then I've got some seasoning here. I've got coriander, and then I've also got some mixed seasoning, and I've got curry powder, and then I've got my rice also here, which I will wash when I'm ready to put in the sauce. Now for me, rice is very important when I am cooking jollof rice. So what I've got here is I've got two different types of rice which I use. I have got the longer grain basmati, and then I've also got the jasmine fragrant rice, which I have mixed up, which is what I normally use, and it's lovely. I've used it for, you know, many years, and I prefer it because if you don't have the right kind of rice, you know, by the end of your cooking, your jollof rice is going to look very different. Sometimes the rice could be too broken and it looks like broken rice, or it may not really have the right texture that you want. Hot a little bit. So good, the olive oil, and the oil goes in. Okay, so whilst I wait for the pot to heat up a little bit, as I mentioned, you know, when it comes to jollof rice, you know, it all depends on the flavor and on the taste. So, you know, what you put in, the seasoning, it's so important, and also the rice. The rice is so important as well. People use different type of rice, but it all depends on how they want it. Okay, so hopefully this oil is heating up, and you don't need to take too much oil. And also, you know, you can use any type of oil. You can use sunflower oil, you can use, you know, olive oil if you prefer, vegetable oil, whichever one you prefer, you can use that. Right, so hopefully the oil is slightly warm up. If not, it would, we'll wait for a little bit for it to heat up. Okay, and there goes in the chopped onions. frying up the onions in the oil just, you know, gives it a bit of flavor, softens the onions as well. There's no way you can cook without onions, trust me. Onions, I love onions, and they give so much flavor to the food. Okay. Food doesn't cook with onions. Oh my, you should be cooking with onions. That's so good. So once that is cooking, what I'm going to do, I'm going to then add my blended ginger, garlic and onions again into it. All of it. Put all of it in. Oh my gosh, you should smell it. It smells so good. The aroma is just so perfect. Alright, leave it to simmer a little bit. Yeah. And actually I've had to, you know, show a few friends how to cook jollof rice, and they come back and they tell me, oh, it was so difficult, it didn't turn out like yours, you know, how did you cook yours? But it's so simple and easy, as long as you know the few tips or tricks in how to cook jollof rice. So basically jollof rice is just rice in a sauce, you know, so you're just cooking rice in a sauce, but it's not like rice and then you have the stew separately. It cooks together. So whilst that is cooking, I'm going to add my tomato puree. I've got tomato puree here, and I've added my tomato puree. And that smells so, and you can see I've just mixed it all up. You know, actually, without even the blended tomatoes, if you haven't got blended tomatoes, you can just use tomato puree to make a jollof rice. It doesn't matter. Yeah, because as you can see, you've got a sauce already. Yeah, so you can use tomato puree, and what will actually make it nice if you're using tomato puree is when you've actually blended some onions and ginger and garlic, and then you've got your sauce and you put in your seasoning. So whilst that is cooking, I am going to add my blended tomatoes, and it all goes in, and you can see. So we've got lots of tomatoes going in here. And just so you know, I've added, there is some pepper in this already, in the tomato already. So just so you know, we've got peppers in there to taste. What I'm going to do whilst that is cooking, I am going to add my stock cube and my chicken stock powder. So everything goes in and then it cooks together. Oh, this is what I don't like, when the tomato is all over the place. But you know, keep stirring, turn the fire down a little bit so it doesn't go all over the place. There you go. Try and get everything in there. Right. Now I'm going to add in some coriander. I love coriander in my food. To be honest, I love coriander. I love fresh coriander. I love ground powdered coriander in my food as well, especially if I'm making sauces. I love it. And I've got this seasoning here. I mean, I always say that cooking is, you know, is an art. You can add whatever seasoning you have. This is like different kind of mixed seasoning. that I buy from the shop, and I've got some curry powder as well. So I just keep stirring because I don't want it to start, you know, popping up all over the place, because I'm going to cover it up and then allow it to cook. A little bit of curry powder goes in there. And because I've added, you know, the chicken stock and the chicken stock powder, I'm not going to add too much salt, so just a little bit of salt. Have to be careful here, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, in my palm, and there it goes in. As you can see, it's very simple and easy to cook jollof rice. So now we've got all the ingredients to make the sauce, and what I'm going to do is I am going to cover it up and allow it to cook. So there you go, covered it up, and now it's going to cook gently for a few minutes. I'll come and then open it up and check it. I've covered it so that, you know, the sauce is not going all over the place. And once it's ready, we will add our rice to it. Okay, so whilst the sauce is cooking, I have got some chicken prepared already, and I've actually seasoned the chicken, and it's been in the fridge for some minutes, for roughly about 30 minutes. So what I used for the seasoning is, again, I've used ginger and garlic, and I've used some dried herbs. So I've used, again, coriander and mixed herbs, and I've used dried parsley. I also like to add a little bit of brown sauce to it, to just give it some stickiness, and also a little bit of chili flakes to it, or chili oil. So I mixed it up, and yeah, seasoned it, and I kept it in the fridge for a few minutes, and I'm going to put that in the oven. I've already turned the oven on, so it should be heating up roughly. My oven is furnace oven, so it doesn't take too long to heat up. And I will cook the chicken, and I keep an eye on it until it's nice and soft and ready to eat. So whilst the sauce is cooking, the jollof is cooking, the chicken goes into the oven. So today we're having jollof rice and chicken. On my next video, when I do another jollof rice, it'll probably be maybe jollof rice with lamb, or, you know, with beef, which, you know, is also equally nice and tasty. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the sauce. As you can see, it is simmering away. There you go. Oh, it smells so good. We'll leave it for a few more minutes until the sauce is actually cooked. So I'm going to cover it up, and I'll come back. So, I believe the sauce should be ready, and now it's looking like this. Okay, so I've washed the rice. So I've washed the rice 3 times to make sure I get most of the starch out. So I've washed the rice 3 times, and I am going to now put the rice in the sauce. So everything goes in like that. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to mix it all up. As you can see. So the more the sauce, the richer your jollof rice would be, and the more tastier it will be. So now I'm going to taste it to see if, you know, the seasoning and the salt is just right. Yeah, I think it should be fine. So next thing is to now add water, but you need to note that water is so crucial when you're cooking jollof rice. It doesn't need so much water because it's going to use the steam to finish off the cooking, so you got to be very careful. And it also depends on the type of rice you're using. So there's some rice that would need a little bit more water, some just don't need so much water, they just need steam and it will cook it. So I'm going to add water. Okay, so I've got water here in the bowl, but I'm going to add it gradually and see what I think. Okay, so note you've got a sauce in there, and I just added water. Okay, I think I might need a little bit more. I'm going to add everything. Okay. Some people will say, oh, because you know how to cook it, you can just gauge with your eyes and know how much water you need to pour. But you know, if you know how to cook rice, it's no different from cooking jollof rice. Don't put too much water, otherwise it's going to be soggy. And what's going to happen is you end up having a risotto instead of jollof rice. But I think this is fine. Okay, again, let me taste and see. I think the seasoning is fine. I'm not going to put any more salt or any more seasoning in it. So I did lower the fire, but I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And also take note, because you've got the sauce in the rice, when the jollof rice is cooking, it might stick, depending on the pot you're using. At the moment, I'm using a non-stick pot, which is not something I normally use for my jollof rice. But you have to take note. Don't give it too much heat or too much fire, otherwise it's going to burn. So you just need a little bit of fire, then it cooks. But you've got to keep an eye on it. What's going to happen, it will come and check it at least once or twice before we know that it's all ready, because we need to turn the rice and make sure the steam is cooking it properly. So at the moment we'll leave it on a very low heat to then start cooking. Okay, so guys, I've come back to check on the rice. As you can see, look, it's cooking. I'm just stirring it to make sure that we have an evenly cooked rice. Okay. I'm stirring it up. As you can see, I'm using a flat wooden spatula to turn the rice. Gently. It's got to be done gently, as you can see. The reason I do it gently is not to break the rice grains, because I don't like it when it's all broken up. So yeah, I've turned it on up. Now it's still got to cook. As you can see, it's going to be nice and very rich because it's got lots of sauce in it. What I'm going to do now to make sure it cooks on a low heat and the steam is all maintained in the rice and cooks it very well, is I'm going to cover the lid up with a foil. The reason is to make sure it keeps all the steam in it. So There you go. So there's no steam escaping, so that it can cook it perfectly well. Alright, okay, still on a low heat. Let me just check here. Yeah, it's still on a low heat. It will come back. And as you can see, the chicken is cooking. It is also sizzling away, and we'll come back and check on the chicken. Okay, so rice is cooking on a low heat. All it needs is steam to cook it up, and we'll come back and check it. So guys, the jollof rice is all ready. As you can see, it's well cooked. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching my first video. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. It's been a pleasure. Please subscribe and click on the notification button so that you will get notification when I make my next video. I'm excited already for my next video, so please don't forget to click on that notification button and subscribe. You can also leave your comments, and I will be excited to read your comments. So look out, and we will cook together on Tisha's home cooking. Thank you. Bye.